If you look at the mortgage rates from 2006-7, it was averaging 6.41 was the average mortgage rate for A paper in 2006. A paper is good credit, okay? Today it's 3.5. Hello, Shane Willis, Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. Today we're going to talk about how it is not 2008 all over again. I've been hearing a little bit lately about people saying, well, the recession's coming, and I think you guys have heard, if you listen to this show at all, last year I talked about recession 2020. So in 2018, one of my more popular podcast episodes talks about recession 2020. But I want to kind of go over some of the arguments and then counter arguments that it's not 2008 all over again. It's a different market, all right? So let's talk about it. The first argument or supposition, this is the blog post and I'm reading my post so that I can, a critical warning sign last time was the surging gap between growth in home prices and household income. Today's home values have also outpaced wage gains. As in 2006, a lack of affordability will kill the market. That's the argument that we're going to see house depreciation. Here's the counter argument. The gap between wages and home price growth has existed since 2012. That gap has been around since 2012, and we haven't seen a depreciation year since 2012. It's appreciated every year. If that's a sign of recession, why didn't we see it over the last 7 years? That was my point when I wrote it. Also, a buyer's purchasing power is much greater today than it was 13 years ago. All right. If you look at the mortgage rates from 2006-7, it was averaging 6.41 was the average mortgage rate for A paper in 2006. A paper is good credit, okay? Today it's 3.5. 6.1 versus 3.5. That's a huge difference. So affordability is still there. All right, so that kind of squashed that. Here's a supposition number 2, the argument that it's going to crash. In 2018, as in 2005, housing price growth began slowing, with significant price drops occurring in major markets. Look at Manhattan, where home prices are in a near free fall. That's the argument right now. The counterpoint, the only market right now showing some depreciation is in Seattle. But it looks like that's about to turn. CoreLogic comes out and looks at all the stats all the time, and they're already predicting an acceleration, a re-acceleration even in the Seattle area. All right. Regarding Manhattan, home prices are dropping because the city's new mansion tax has nothing to do with inventory or the prices there. It has all to do with taxes. Florida's been a big recipient of a lot of those people moving down because they got rid of that mansion tax. All right, or they implemented it. And for those of you who don't know, it's a new federal tax code that went into effect last year, continues to impact the market, capping deductions for state and local taxes at $10,000. That had the effect of making it more expensive to own homes in states like New York. Okay? So the third argument for a property or prices going down, prices will crash because that's what happened during the last recession. So prices are obviously going to crash. And that's true. That did happen in the last recession. But I need you to understand something. It's also true in the 4 previous recessions, home values only depreciated once. And that was by less than 2%. The other 3, real estate actually went up during a recession. Up. So I'm trying to get the point out there. I'm trying to make sure that everyone gets educated because I've heard some buyers saying that I'm going to sit on the fence because prices are about to drop. I don't think that's going to happen. If you look at the top 100 real estate economists across the country and ask them, is real estate going to go down over the next 5 years? 100% will answer no. 100%. I want that to sink in for a second. You ask an economist, is real estate going to go down over the next 5 years? 100% of them will say no. Now, out of that 100, if you go year by year, there's 2 or 3% that will say there's 1 year that may see slight depreciation. Now, remember, these are national numbers. You start talking our area, there's nothing that points. I do not think we're going to have the double-digit returns that we had back in the day. And when I say back in the day, 2017 saw a double-digit return in our area. It averaged about 10.2%. I don't think we're going to see that. What it looks like we're going to be seeing is just a slowing regular market, which is what I prefer. your average 2, 3, 4% a year. That's it. But appreciation, when it comes to investment, is a bonus. Some of you guys have heard me give that speech. Appreciation is a bonus. You invest for cash flow. Appreciation when you own a home is a bonus. You're paying down on the debt, but all of a sudden you're getting appreciation too. So you're using part of the bank's money to grow your wealth. There's nothing pointing to the depreciation of properties. If you get in the ultra luxury market in our area, you have seen some price reductions. But perhaps that was the wrong marketing strategy to begin with. It had to be corrected. That's why they had to reduce the price. Okay? So there's different things out there, but I want to squash this idea that we are going to see depreciation rapidly like we did in 2008, and that everybody is going to, we're going to have massive foreclosures and short sales and all. It's not happening. Look at the job market. Look at the interest rates. And people aren't doing those subprime loans. Not to the level that we were doing them before. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I owned a mortgage company for almost 10 years. I got rid of it in 2008. I remember seeing some of the loans that came out that I didn't agree with. Okay? But they're not doing those type loans. Not some of what they called subprime, they call them Alt-A now because subprime's got such a negative connotation. Some of those have come back, like bank statement loans, but you're not doing it to the LTV or the loan to value we used to. They used to be able to do a bank statement loan at 100 or 105% loan to value. Property was worth $200,000. I could let you borrow $210,000. Okay, because why? Real estate always went up. That was 2000. Was the nostalgia that was 2005. Okay, all in a bank statement loan. Now, if you want to use a bank statement or an Alt-A, or let's just call it what it is, a subprime, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I think there's a marketplace for subprime. You're just not getting 100% LTV. You're probably not getting 90. You're probably going to be more like 80, 75. Because if we had 80 and 75, that means you've got some skin in the game. It's a lot harder to walk away for stuff like that. I'm sure I will see some of the bank statement loans come back up to 90. But I don't think we're going to see the stated income and stated asset or no doc loans at 100%. We're not going to do those. We're just not going to do them anymore. I think that's the lesson that got learned, even with the appetite that Wall Street has. Anyways, I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm not going to. So that's all I got for you today. As always, if you've not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, if you haven't liked the Facebook page, facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. I'm putting out some good stuff over there. I'm also putting out some stuff on YouTube. So find me on YouTube and subscribe. That would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a great, great day.